The secret to choosing the right clamp? Clamping pressure. Hi everybody, I'm Mike and welcome back to the shop. Today on this episode of Hit or Miss, we're going to showcase DeWalt trigger clamps. But before we get right into the review, I want to go over or provide some tips that I've picked up in order to build the collection of clamps that everybody needs. You know, as a woodworker, you need clamps. It's inevitable. Well, clamps are expensive, and if you start adding up or trying to calculate how many clamps you need, the price becomes astronomical. So the first simplest tip I decided to adopt was the DeResta method. And Jimmy DeResta in one of his vlogs gave the tip that every time you go to Home Depot, buy a clamp. So I decided to take that one step further, and I budgeted $35 a week. Now at Home Depot, you're limited to either DeWalt or Bessie's. That means in 1 year, you could have 52 clamps. And that would even provide you a wide variety. So week one, I went in there. My intention was to buy a Bessie parallel clamp in the 24 or 36 inch length. And then I saw this one by DeWalt. And what this one caught my eye is, notice the throat depth here, how big they are, and it has this flat part. So, and for a significant price reduction compared to the Bessie, I decided to give it a try. Well, I will tell you right from the get-go, this, I don't know what the point of this is. So it looks good, like it's going to give you this nice flat surface, but this is too soft and too pliable that even when you pinch it, it's not going to be level. So I realized that was a mistake, and this 36 inch was cheaper than the Bessie 24 inch in the parallel clamp. Now, being someone that is consistent in everything I do, week two, I went and I bought another one of these 36 inch clamps. Then I decided to put that on hold to look into maybe other ideas, because like as I said, it wasn't until I bought the second clamp that I realized that this doesn't really aid in anything. Okay, you know, it was really a waste. It was a mistake. Yes, I saved money, but this did not provide me the benefit. Now, what I will also point out is this depth right here is the exact same depth as the Bessie parallel clamp. That's what made the deciding factor. I'm trying this because, like, well, I'm not losing anything. So I thought. And then we went into week three. Now, if you've ever been to Home Depot, you will notice they have a lot of combo packs. Okay, well, this combo pack right here is a 4-pack that you can get at Home Depot pretty much anytime you want for $35. You get 2 6-inch clamps and you get 2 12-inch clamps. Now, when I went to buy these, they happened to be on sale, so they were only $30. Now, my plan was then on the 4th week, because I like to have even numbers, I was going to buy one more set of these. Well, when I started using these, and I've been using the DeWalt clamps for about 6 months, so I've got pretty good use out of them. Well, once I got this set and I started using these little 6-inch ones, I realized, okay, there was something amiss. And when I went to the 4th week, I said, you know what, I don't think I'm going to buy any more of these. And this is what led me to discovering the clamping pressure being such a factor. So let's go over these DeWalt clamps. Now, DeWalt categorizes their clamps in either small, medium, large, or extra large. And that size delineation refers to clamping pressure. Once again, we're going back to this general theme of this video of clamping pressure. Because I started using these little 6-inch, and they're very convenient. They feel wonderful, like, you know, they feel sturdy. They've got a lifetime warranty. Now, what I found very quickly, though, is these can't hold nothing. Oftentimes, I use 6-inch clamps to put a board down. Since their height is pretty low right here, say I want to use the hand plane on something, and I don't have any bench dogs on my table. I don't even have a bench vise on this particular bench. So I'll put a clamp as a stop and maybe put it on 2 different sides, and this wouldn't stop. I mean, you keep hitting with the, knock this loose. I've even sometimes used these just to hold down a tool. Like I have a little belt sander, has a hard time even holding that. I found these as pretty much useless in the 4-pack. I started researching other clamps, and then that's when I discovered clamping pressure. And back to when I said the sizes, okay? Well, in this 4-pack, this is considered medium, and these are considered they're large. And mediums are only 100 pounds of clamping pressure. So then you can figure out right away why these are junk, versus you go to the large, and it's 300 pounds of clamping pressure. And that's sufficient. It's pretty good. I would say you want better. And then that's where we go to extra large. Extra large has 600. So then you've doubled still, and you're not doubling in price. I've come to the conclusion that you don't want anything less than large. Then you've got 300 pounds of clamping pressure, and if you can get the extra large. And the nice thing is almost every size comes in the extra large, You get from 12, 24, 36, and 50 in the extra large. Now in large, they do have a 6-inch. Now a lot of people might ask, why in the world would you choose squeeze clamps or trigger clamps over any other clamp? And what I found is, for one, I love the idea that it's a single-handed operation. What I have found is let me get one. When you have these kind of clamps, F-style clamps, even though this little head right here pivots, when you put enough pressure on this and you're twisting, it does make this whole pad want to twist. And I've found many times my board's wanting to slip as I'm torquing you down. So when you're using F-style clamps, you have to put so many and then just keep gingerly going around in a circle and just, or doing a cross. And it seems like it's a little more annoying that with this, as long as you keep this square between the board. Obviously, if you have this at a bit of an angle when you clamp, you can make the boards slip as well. Now, there is definitely a downside to this, because at least with these kind of clamps, when you clamp them, you can lay them flat on a table. Obviously, this trigger's in your way, so that doesn't work good when you're trying to set it on a table. So there are limitations. Now, a plus with these DeWalts is, especially when you get to large. Large and extra large have this very simple, you can remove that, and now you can create a spreader bar. And that's a feature I actually like and I've used many times, which is another reason why I do like the squeeze clamp style. Now, my understanding with the DeWalts is all of them allow you to do a spreading function, but you notice here you're going to have a screw, so you'd have to unscrew this, put it over here. So it's not exactly this quick and easy push button and, and you're good to go. Now, I apologize, I don't have a project in process to test these out on, so unfortunately you have to take my word for it. But what I want to do is give a quick example of where I think these spring clamps with the spreading, people might ask, why do you need a spreading function? And I'll show you why. I do a lot of boxes that have box joints, and I enjoy that. Now, normally when I make these, they will be protruding. So what makes it difficult is when you're gluing these together, and you sit here and you grab your clamp, you can't go, can't even use this one on that one. So when you decide to do a box joint, and the way I do mine is I always have these fingers sticking out so that I can then sand them flush and give a nice, much more refined look. Well, you can't exactly go here with a clamp and go right to the edge, because then you'd be pushing on the end of this part. You wouldn't actually be clamping this. It becomes a real challenge to get the clamp in the right spot to get even pressure down the line. So what you end up having to do is go just past your fingers. Now when you do that, what ends up happening is you're squeezing here. Even though you're close to it, it makes the center want to bow in, especially if you're using pine like this. So where one of these spreading function can help you is then you can go here to the center and help keep this nice and square and parallel. While you're clamping here, you can keep this from bowing. Okay, so hopefully I provided a good overview of my process on choosing clamps that you yourself could adopt. And hopefully you found some interest in even these DeWalt clamps. And as I've stated, it really does not matter what brand you choose. Like I said, it's the clamping pressure that matters. And I would say don't go below 300. And what's kind of nice about DeWalt's is, unfortunately, they don't mark on here. It's not obvious what this is. Now, if you look at the tag, you'll see it, but it's not very noticeable. Now, the key that I found, a little secret, is whenever you see a large clamp, it's always going to have a push button. And then the secret for extra large, since it also has a push button, you'll notice that this trigger is silver. The extra larges always have this silver metal type release, while the large is metal, but it's this flatter piece. This is more pronounced. So at a quick glance, you can tell where the extra large clamps are and which ones are the large. So I hope you found this video informative. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And hey, if you have any tips of your own on how to choose clamps or the way you go about purchasing clamps, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, you take care.